He was out there by himself. That's what Alex Smith, the former quarterback and now one of the sharpest voices in football analysis, said about Patrick Mahomes after the Chiefs' latest performance. And honestly, it's a statement that's shaken the NFL world. A bold assessment. Were the Kansas City Chiefs just exposed? But hold on. Let's back up for a second. On the surface, the Chiefs are the defending Super Bowl champions. They have the best quarterback in the league, a rock-solid head coach, and a reputation for keeping defenses scrambling. So how could anyone even think exposed and Chiefs in the same breath? Well, Alex Smith seems to believe there's a real issue, and he didn't hold back while breaking it down. Let's start with the spark that lit this debate. In their most recent game, the Chiefs stumbled offensively. Sure, Patrick Mahomes was still doing Patrick Mahomes things, navigating the pocket under pressure, making impossible throws look routine, and scrambling when absolutely necessary, but something felt off. The separation we've come to expect from their receivers wasn't there. The deep shots they've built their identity around, virtually invisible. And if Mahomes wasn't playing superhero football, the offense stalled in a way we're not used to seeing. After the game, Alex Smith didn't mince words during NFL primetime. He cut right through the noise, saying, "Patrick Mahomes was out there by himself." Those are heavy words, especially coming from someone who used to wear a Chiefs jersey. The implication? Mahomes isn't getting enough help, and the cracks are starting to show. Oh, and trust us, when someone like Alex Smith says it, the NFL world listens. Now, before we even dive into the specifics, let's discuss why Smith's statement carries extra weight. This isn't just a random commentator throwing shade. We're talking about a guy who has history with this franchise. Smith knows the inner workings of Kansas City's system, the pressure that comes with being the guy under center for Andy Reid, the expectations placed on key playmakers, and the way the Chiefs' offense is supposed to work. And that's why his criticism hits so much harder. He wasn't just throwing out hot takes. He was making a calculated observation as someone who understands just how dominant this team should be. But is he right? Are the Chiefs falling short of their gleaming reputation? Let's break it down. Smith's frustration clearly stems from the supporting cast, or lack thereof, around Mahomes. The biggest culprit? The wide receiver room. Remember when Tyreek Hill gave this offense an instant spark? Yeah, those days are gone. And while the Chiefs haven't necessarily struggled in the win column without him, it's impossible to ignore the gap he left. Right now, Kansas City's receiving corps looks like an ensemble of guys rather than true game changers. Marquez Valdes-Scantling, a solid deep threat but inconsistent. Sky Moore, flashes of potential but hasn't grown into a reliable weapon. Kadarius Toney, explosive but streaky. And sure, rookie Rashee Rice has shown promise, but let's be real. He's still a rookie figuring out the NFL. Alex Smith put it bluntly. Mahomes was out there by himself, trying to make magic out of broken plays because these receivers weren't giving him enough to work with. And if you watched how things unfolded, you could see exactly what he meant. There were drop passes, sloppy routes, and way too many plays where Mahomes had to hold the ball longer than necessary, desperately waiting for anyone to get open. It's a situation Chiefs fans are not used to seeing. And this isn't just a one-off problem. Let's not forget the elephant in the room from earlier this season. Travis Kelce hasn't been his usual dominant self. Part of that's been injuries. He's battled through a hyperextended knee and seemingly hasn't been 100%. But defenses are also keying in on him like never before. They know if they can bottle up Kelce, Patrick Mahomes has limited, reliable options to turn to. Oh, and about that offensive line. While Kansas City's front isn't exactly a disaster, they've struggled in one area that's critical in today's NFL, giving their QB enough time when plays break down. That relentless pressure Mahomes faced, it only added to the growing frustration of their offensive limitations. Here's where Alex Smith's analysis gets even sharper. He pointed out that this year's Chiefs don't have the luxury of leaning heavily on Big Red, Andy Reid's genius play calling, to bail them out. Reid's system, though brilliant, is designed to work in tandem with execution. You can draw up the most creative gadget plays imaginable. But if the receivers can't get separation, If the pocket collapses too quickly, and if Kelce is neutralized, it doesn't matter how good the scheme is. Suddenly, it all falls on Mahomes to go off script and try to save the day. And Smith's ultimate takeaway, that's not sustainable.